Hey guys, this is Scott from Church Tech Talks. Man, it has been a weird week. I'm not going to have a lot of time to edit this video. I just wanted to do a quick update for you guys that are subscribers to tell you what we're doing to deal with all the craziness that's going on with coronavirus. So basically, we have taken out all of the chairs in our sanctuary. You can see here, they are all gone. And our plan is to turn our sanctuary really into a broadcast room. So we're going to limit how many people are here. Obviously, it's going to be only our pastor, our worship team. They're all spaced 6 feet apart. So we're trying our best to follow the guidelines of the health officials. But let me tell you technically what we're doing. So we have moved, our camera one position was up here, and we've moved it forward. The reason we've moved it forward is because we don't want people to feel like they're far away and they're watching something they're not a part of. Because broadcast now is going to be our main point of actually getting people involved. It's going to be the main point people consume church. We wanted it to feel like you're closer and it's more intimate. So bringing this camera closer, we switched out the lens on it. What lens are we using? I think it's like I can't remember right now, 24-70. Just a Canon 24-70 on our URSA. We brought this forward, and this is gonna give us just a lot closer shot of the stage. We can kind of do a wide shot. Let me get this camera on and I'll show you. We can kind of, and I'm sorry for the video production. I'm trying to get this out to you guys so it could maybe be helpful. So we have a couple options for shot. We got this kind of wide shot where we can get every single person in the band. We're spacing the band out on our stage so that we have, we have a piano player here, electric over there, bass over there. We have our lead singer up here, drums there, and 2 vocalists there and there. So when we're on this wide shot, we can see everyone at once, and it just feels closer. We see more of the background. I'm gonna try and focus that. We see more of the background. It just brings us in. We also tried to redo our lighting because the lighting didn't look very good for broadcast. We weren't really focused on that before. So we've got another camera position here. I've just got like a little preview monitor on here, and I've got this, what we were using for that slider shot. I've got this Blackmagic micro cinema camera with a 72-200. This is the lighter one, and this is just gonna be a handheld, getting shots, close-ups of people on stage. So we can cut that live. Camera 2 over there, I'll zoom in, is in our same position, and that one's gonna be just fine for us. And then, let me jump up on stage here. We just pulled off all of our risers because now that we're closer, we're a little bit higher. We can see the ground, we can see the rugs. We don't need the height to help people on the stage sing. See. Let me go back to broadcast and tell you another thing we did with audio. We all added, obviously, a bunch of camera shots. Actually, hold on. One I forgot to mention that actually turned out really cool. We took that slider that we had back with the pocket camera, and we just rigged up a GoPro on it, and we did this very cheaply. As you can see, we used packing tape. Just hooked it right on here. And what this does is it's sliding back and forth, and we adjusted these rails on here so that it's gonna keep the drummer at the center of the shot. That head will move with it. And this is that same GVM slider from my other video. But as this goes, you can see it's kind of keeping the drums in that shot. So we get kind of a nice slide that goes across here. And I'll link to our live stream so you guys can kind of see what that looks like on the stream. So that should look pretty good. And it was really cheap because, the slider is only like $350 on Amazon. And we already owned it. GoPro was one of the guys that works here. So we just slapped that on there. I got one cable for it to make it work. And we already had a converter. So we were good to go there. Okay, so back to audio. So obviously, because we're mixing primarily for broadcast, we don't need our house audio anymore. So I actually just turned that down, and I rerouted some stuff so that we are mixing entirely for broadcast here. So we pulled in some of these speakers. They're brother-in-law's speakers, but they're just reference monitors, studio reference monitors. And we are mixing entirely for broadcast. We've pulled down the mains. And then we did a couple things that I really liked. Number one, we obviously I've showed you this before, how we're using multi-rack. We're adding in Waves Tune Live or I'm sorry, they call it real time. Waves Tune real time, just to help on broadcasts. Mistakes are so much more obvious, so that's probably going to help with that. And we're going to use it sparingly as well. Probably have it on 1 or 2 vocals, and just light correction. And then the other thing I did was I pulled in bass here, which I haven't done in the past, just max bass and R bass I'm using in conjunction with each other, to kind of make the bass sound a little bit fatter on stream. And then also what I'm doing is, I'm doing my mix. I'm coming into the mains. From the mains, I'm actually going out XLRs, and I'm coming back into a pair of channels here. And I'm calling this broadcast mains left, broadcast mains right. Let me try and focus so you can see that. So there you go. They're right there. Now that I have them on channels, I can obviously zero out all this stuff. And now I can bring it into Waves Multi-Rack. Now that I'm bringing in Waves Multi-Rack, I'm throwing a SSL bus comp on there to get that mixed glue thing going. And then I've got also an L2 to really just squash it and, take out the dynamic range and make it all nice and loud and good for broadcast. So we've got some multi-tracks that we were testing with earlier. They're obviously not going to sound good on this, but just for reference, you can see.
You're working, you never stop, you never stop working, you never stop working, even when I don't see it, you're working, even when I don't feel it, you're working, you never stop, you never.
So yeah, so there's kind of how we have it set up. We're getting it sounding as good as we can. Obviously the broadcast mix has to be really loud, but I like that trick a lot because we can just kind of mix the board and make it sound really good. And yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well. Oh, one more thing, our broadcast. Let me show you how we're doing that, because we just had to figure it all out this week because our pastor has been against live stream for a long time. I joked that all it took was a pandemic to get him on board with live streaming. So let me pull up the software we are using real quick. And I apologize that this isn't edited, guys. This life is crazy right now. So obviously we have the Ecamm here, but I just got this software called Ecamm Live, and it's pretty cheap. It's free if you're fine with a watermark. And you can just build scenes over here. So I have one scene that's like a pre-service, and it's a countdown. You can set that to count down a time or 2 a time. So that's just looping and going, and then once we're ready to go, I built this scene that's a transition. The live stream is about to begin, and then once our team takes the stage, boom, we can take our Ecamm feed, and that's just the feed from the camera. I'll take camera 1 to show you. Oops, there we go. So that's just that feed from that camera. Audio is coming off the Ecamm 2. We got 2 XLRs from that board mix that I just showed you going into there. Once we're done with the service, obviously at this point we'd go over to Ecamm and start, doing our switching and stuff. Once we're done with that service, we are then going to a post service saying thanks for joining us, and then after that we'll go to pre-service for the next service. So that's kind of how we're doing it. I'm also broadcasting to. You could do record only, which is good for like if you want to record at the beginning of the week or in the middle of the week for something, for a ministry, and premiere it, or broadcast it later. We're using restream.io. The cool thing about Restream is you can broadcast to that, and then it'll simultaneously broadcast and distribute for you to Facebook and to YouTube at the same time. So check that out, guys. And then otherwise, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'm going to try and answer as many as I can, as fast as I can, because I know a lot of you techs are scrambling and working your butts off, just like I am this week. So good luck. Be praying for you, all you guys, and we'll see you next time.